It's the middle of January, and that's just the right time for chanterelles out here around Napa. Now, back in Europe, chanterelles are delicate, small, little yellow nuggets of goodness. Here in California, we get these giant mutant monsters, and this isn't the biggest of them. I've seen these little suckers grow up to £1 a piece. But the great thing about it is when they grow and they pop, they really come in profusion. I've just got a few here, and I'm going to show you how to prepare them, which is really simple. And the downside of these giant monsters when it's been raining like it has the last few days is they get a little soggy. So the best way to prepare them is the dry saute technique. It's going to get all that moisture out of them and leave you with a lovely morsel of meaty chanterelle goodness. So here goes. First thing to do is get a little mushroom brush like this and just brush off all of the loose dirt. You can see it comes off pretty easily. If you lose a little ledge like that, don't worry. Down here, you can brush either way on the kind of gill surface, but if you brush down the stem, that's usually where the gills are opening. So you kind of brush it out the gills and not brush it into the forks where it's going to stick. If it's still dirty, if you've got one of these fancy mushroom knives, they're perfect for scraping down the stem and just leaving you with a nice creamy flesh. But if you don't, then just a paring knife will do it. Just go easy so that you just scrape the surface like that and don't take too much of the mushroom away. It's a natural product. It's a little forest dirt. You're going to cook it. If it's slightly dark in places, don't worry about it too much. Once you've done that, you can then just chop it fairly coarsely. I usually take slices, maybe about a quarter of an inch thick. Slice them down, make some largish chunks, pop them in a bowl like this, and another one, and away you go. Now the next thing is to get a saute pan, which you want on a medium high heat. So we'll get that ready and come back to you in a second. We've got all of the chanterelles cut up and clean now. This is basically it for the dry saute. Is this warm pan. It's been on a medium heat for just a few minutes to warm through, and we're going to throw the chanterelles in, and that's the main thing that we're going to do. So let's have a look what's going on here in the pan. So Olivia, my master cameraman, is hopefully going to focus in on this, and you can see what's happening here is as these mushrooms are heating up in the warm pan, you can see they're starting to really give up all of their moisture. Now if you just did a conventional saute with oil at this point, you would not get any kind of a caramelization or flavor with these things. All you'd be getting would be like a soggy, oily, emulsified mess. The main thing that I want you to see here is just a ton of water coming out of these things. Now the idea is to not only get the water out, but to boil it off. So what you're doing is now drying these things out in the pan, and as we boil the water, you're keeping a lot of the flavour of the mushroom back. These things are really going gangbusters now. You can see that? I mean, they're swimming in there. Well, you gotta hope these babies have, been on their swimming lessons, because if not, they're drowning right now. And no seasoning. You don't need it at the moment. All we're doing is driving off the water. It takes a few minutes. I'm going to get Olivia to turn the camera off. We'll come back in a few minutes. And as you can see, we've been cooking these maybe just for another couple of minutes since we last had the camera on, but you can see what's happening here is the moisture's gradually going, and you're starting to get already a little caramelization on the mushroom, and what I can smell, and of course as we don't have smell-o-vision cameras, you can't, is the aroma coming off of these suckers is wonderful now, just really nice. And see, as I'm moving them around, see, you're starting to get a little brown on the mushroom. Remember, no color, no flavor. and this is just starting to caramelize that surface beautifully. All that moisture that's boiled out is boiled off, but all the flavour is concentrated and gone back into these mushrooms. I guess the other thing to note on this is when I put this in, you probably thought, wow, he's got a panful there. Look how much it's gone down. That's the moisture. That's all the moisture that's gone. But what's left is really tasty little nuggets of flavour. I'm liking it pretty good. So, as I say, if you were putting this into another dish or a stuffing, you could take them right from here. I'm just going to finish them off with a little butter, a little olive oil, and some simple seasoning. And that's going to give me just the purest kind of chanterelle flavour. You know, about maybe a tablespoon of some decent olive oil. This is our favourite olive oil. It's from the Napa Valley Olive Oil Company down in St. Helena. And this is the last little bit of some really great high-fat butter that my friend Avia got me from Long Meadow Ranch. I'm not sure what the name is. I guess the closest thing that's commonly available is a thing called plus gras. It comes in a red packet. Plus gras is French. It means more fat, which I think is really ballsy and probably not a marketing statement that you'd see used an awful lot in America. But that's exactly what it is. More fat. And it's richer and it's tastier. And I'm sure my Dr. Barry Brown would not be happy if I ate nothing but that all the time, but when you're cooking and you're trying to get some good flavour, then use the good stuff. If I ever catch you taking some beautiful chanterelles like this and trying to finish it with some low-fat butter substitute margarine stuff, I hope the culinary gods will come down and smite you for the sacrilege you performed. These are looking lovely now. That's basically it. They've got some good colour. They're just finishing off there. I'm going to add just a little tiny bit of sea salt. This is a little black pepper. There we are. There we are. Now you see we're starting to get like a kind of light brown, light tan colour from the dry cooking that we were doing. Now from the oil, which is obviously a much higher temperature, you're getting a much darker caramelization and another layer of flavour. And you can see I've just put a little more colour on them, so they've got that lovely kind of golden brown. You know, don't go too far. You don't want them burnt, but this is just a lovely golden brown colour. At this point you can do a lot with them. My preference is to have Olivia just move back a little bit, and then what I'm going to do here is turn off the heat so I don't burn myself, and then serve them up in one of these fine Calistoga pottery bowls. I recommend you get one. They look gorgeous. Jeff and Sally make them just down the road from us. And you could do just whatever you like with these. I'm going to pop one into my mouth and delicious. It's a delicate flavour. It's not got the sort of meatiness of a porcini, but it is a really nice, delicate flavour. And with this method, it's not a slimy kind of mass. It's got a little crunch and firmness and nice taste from the caramelization. So that's it. Wild chanterelle mushrooms, dry saute technique. Hope you've enjoyed it. Thanks. Bye.